Off answers. Some of you understand this, some of you don't. But what do we get? X plus y and x minus y for the first one. Okay. And what do we get for the second one? A plus b and a minus b. These are the difference of two squares. Now, next thing we're going to ask you is, can somebody tell me the difference between 4y squared and 4y 2b squared? Can anybody in class tell me the difference? Yes, sir. It's okay if you don't. Yes, G. Perfect. So on the bottom one, it's 4y multiplied by another 4y. While in the top one, it's just 4y. See on the bottom one, because there's a brackets, the square works on the 4 and the y. Ever get that? But on the other one, the square just works on the y. So they're two different answers, even though they look very similar. One answer is 16yy or 16y squared, while the other one is simply 4y squared. Is that okay with you guys? Now, with the next question, I'm going to make a mistake, all right? And I want you to tell me what you think my mistake is. So, I'm going to try and do x squared minus 4y squared. Everybody see that? You okay with that? Now, it's very different than x squared minus 4y 2b squared. Because what is x squared minus 4y 2b squared? What did we say it was a second ago? What's 4y times another 4y? Yeah, 16yy, which is 16y squared. So they're two different questions, aren't they? So if I was to write the answer for this question, the question on the board like this, can anybody tell me, do you think I'm wrong or right about this one here? All right, put up your hands if you think I'm correct. Most people said they didn't have a clue if I was right or wrong with this question, okay? I'll prove I'm wrong right now. What's x times x? X times 4y minus 4xy. 4y times x plus 4xy. 4y times another 4y. The middle cancels, but I got x squared minus 16y squared. I was only meant to get 4y squared. Anybody suggest a way of fixing this problem? Yes. Use 2 instead. Okay. Let's try that this way. X plus 2y and x minus 2y. And does that work? It does, if you're to multiply it back out. So why does it work? Here's what we do. We square root the 4. And what happens when you square root the 4? It turns into 2y. And then we just put the 2y in both parts. Look at the next question, all right? You might think this next question is difficult, but it's actually not too bad. Actually, I'll do question 6 for you really quickly. What I want you to do is square root the 9 and square root the 16. And what you think? What happens when I square root 9? What do you think? 3x and another square root of 16 and another, and you're done. That's the answer. If I was to multiply that out, it will turn back into that. Because what's 3x times 3x? 9x squared. And what's 4y times minus 4y? Yeah, just for people starting off again. Are we all in agreement that this is what we have starting off? You're okay to that point, were you? Start the lesson. Now, does everybody, I'm going to write this one directly underneath it. Instead of x squared, we have x squared. Does that make sense? Now, instead of y squared, we have 16y squared. Now, that's a 9, all right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to square root the 16y squared. So what happens when I square root 16? What number do I get? And y. So here's what I'm going to change it to. I'm going to change it to 4y 2b squared. Because what's 4y multiplied by another 4y? You get that part? Have I changed the question? No, I've just changed how it looks. that blue part there is actually the same thing as that blue part there. So using my eyesight and my eyesight only, I go, instead of x, I have x. Okay, that makes sense. Instead of x, I have x. But instead of y, I have 4y. And that's what I did. Okay? And likewise, with the next question, which is this one up here, what can I change 4x squared into? Can anybody tell me? I can change it into 2x multiplied by 2x, which is 2x squared. So instead of x, I have 2x. And instead of y, I have y. Did anybody get 2x plus y and 2x minus y? All right. Now, what's square root of 4? 2a square root of 25. 2a plus 5b, 2a. I guarantee you, if you were to multiply that out, what would happen? It'll turn back into the same thing. Is that all right? All right, what about the next one? M at the back. Square root 36. 6x, yeah. Square root of 49. 7y, and then the other side. And, okay. Now, if you're wondering, if you're not too good at the tables, the button is this button here. See the square root sign above the COS? If you want anything, if you're not good at the tables, you can press square root of 64 and it will tell you that the answer is 8. It tells you what number multiplies by what number to give you that number. Is that all right? And what about the last one? Oh, yeah. You cool with that? Okay. Now, I'm going to do a special thing with question 7. I'm about to make question 7 much harder. You ready? So we're going to blank out 8 and 9. They don't matter anymore. And I'm gonna use question 7 to make a harder question that in most cases, most honor students cannot answer this question. You ready? Pick a very small number, 2 or 3. Go on, which one do you want? Keen. 2. Keen's asked me to use the number 2. Everybody cool with that? I'm gonna grab this question that we already know the answer for, and I'm gonna multiply it by 2. What happens if I multiply that full question by 2? 8a squared minus, exactly, all right? Now, here's the technique for doing this question. You do nearly the exact same thing, except you identify that both numbers are even, or both numbers could be a multiple of 3. You go, wait a minute, both those numbers are even. What does that mean? I can take out 2. And what do I have left over when I take out 2? What's left? Oh, are you listening? Okay. And what do we know the answer for this part already? We have it over here, don't we? So what can we say the answer is? 2 times 2a plus 5b minus, yeah. So that's considered a very difficult question. So we took out the highest common factor. We all took out 3, didn't we? What's left over? X squared and times how much? Not times 27, because if you multiply that back out again, 3x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 27 is not 27. 9y squared. Yes, that's a good call. Now, you guys are expected to be able to take care of this part here in green. It's what you were doing. Now, thanks for asking. So if you read the question, it says, first take out the highest common factor. A factor is a number that will divide into 3 and 27. They have no letters in common, so we're looking at the 3 and the 27. We go, what number will divide into both of them? We all decided the number 3 would. Then we took out the number 3, and then we turned it. It's 3 times x squared as well. 3 times 9? 27y squared. Isn't that right, Steve? It is. So we've changed nothing. We've just taken out the 3 and it's still the same stuff. But what we're focusing on now is the x squared minus 9y squared. And what can we break that up into? Yes, sir. And see that? So we can break up this part here into x plus 3y and x minus 3y. And we're done. Okay. What do you take out of it? You all took out 3. What you get? Well done. I multiply it back out in my head. Does it match up? 3 times 4, 12, 3 times y squared, 3y squared. Now we're targeting this part here. What do you think? What did you get? I'm going to ask this man here. What you get? But what you get after that? It's not done yet. You have to break up this part, the yellow part. Somebody else is offering an answer? Anybody else? E, what you get? Yeah, 3, yeah. And 4x minus y. Now, I'm going to explain why that won't work for you, okay? But it's all right. It's quite common, okay? So what happens if I multiply 4x by another 4x? Yeah, you don't want 16. You want 4. Any idea how to rectify that? Change into a 2. Why does a 2 fix it? Yeah, 2x and 2x, 4x squared, and then you multiply it out. What number could you take out of both of them? C in the corner. Oh, you're E. C. What divides into 45 and 20? Just 2. Number 2. 45 and 20. 5. There we go. Don't bail him out. All right, so what do we get then? 5 times what? What number multiplies by 5 to make 45? 9k squared. Perfect. 5 times what gives you 20? So, see, what we're basically saying is if I multiply that back out, you've changed nothing. You get what I'm saying? 5 times 9, 5 times minus 4, minus 20. I've changed nothing. Still the same thing. Now, you're going to have to work in this part now. And this is what we're doing at the start of class. Do you remember how to do this one? Go on, what do you do? We're using the difference of 2 squares. This formula up here. Something similar. So, what happens when you square root 9? Okay, let's square root 9 using the calculator. Square root 9. So, we're going to put in 3k and another 3k. What number, when you multiply it by itself, gives you 9? Now, what about the 4? Plus 2 followed by a minus 2. It's always a plus followed by a minus. And you're done. Who beat me to it?